In recent years, research about how games can facilitate learning has gained emphasis increasingly. In today's video, we're going to explore 3 ways gameplay aids learning: second language development, game playing and literacy, and how game content affects the learning outcome. Now let's talk about second language development through gameplay. Although digital gaming has proved effective in real-life settings as a branch of CSCL, aka Computer-Supported Collaborative Learning, people tend to have criticisms about it in its application. However, according to researchers, research in this area reveals extended periods of language socialization into sophisticated communicative practices and demonstrates the salience of creative expression and language use as tools for identity development and management. Also, SLD, aka second language development, that occurs while playing and interacting with a digital game must not only be useful in the game itself. Rather, the learner-centric nature of game-based learning can facilitate the transfer of linguistic constructions to other contexts. Although the environments vary, the ability being developed, second language proficiency, is applicable independent of the context. As Tobias and Fletcher stated, transfer of knowledge, skills, and attitudes from games to tasks in school or training contexts, or to activities in life generally, is of central significance for the effectiveness of games in delivering instruction. In a word, language learned during game playing can be transferred to other contexts, which help language socialization and identity development and management.
Now let's talk about game and literacy. Traditionally, literacy is considered as the ability to read and write. However, what literacy we are talking about here is far broader than what we typically think of. We communicate not only by letters and words. Instead, we use diagrams, signs, pictures, videos, television, and even games to communicate in modern worlds. When people are learning how to play a new game, they are learning a new literacy. The content of the game itself can be a kind of literacy. They are about the back and forth between reading the game's meanings and writing back into them. Or to say, game is a production of meaning within the semiotic resources of the game. Meanwhile, games are complex systems where words, images, songs, and videos are mixed up, and consequently created a virtual environment that literacy is highly involved. 4. The social characteristic of commercial games enable learners to participate in a social community and improve their literacy. Virtual novel video games give gamers a chance to read the plot, and players have a strong interest in read or write content that related to the game, which we call fan fiction. In addition to that, massive multiplayer online games, in which participants engage in these environments by controlling a digital avatar, requires gamers to communicate with other players by one-to-one private chat systems, mailing systems for asynchronous communication, and in-game voice communication capabilities.
Now, let's talk about content provided by games. Games provide rich content for players and thus enable them to learn. We're going to talk about 2 kinds of content: core content and underlying content. First, let's start with the core content that are directly provided by games. Some of the games themselves are equipped with knowledge such as historical accuracy that are related to learning goals in class. Those specific content in games serve as an expansion to core content. For example, Lee and Perber described how Civilization 3 can be applied into high school classroom to help students learn United States history. Besides those core concepts, students can also learn some concepts, namely the underlying content. Learning concepts through games have an advantage over simply dedication. It is because of the fact that students are immersed in the game environment and develop a sense of identity with game characters. According to GE's identity series, learning is efficient when learners is taking on identities in a way that with ample traces. Immersing in such virtual environment enable them to grasp the concept better.